Okay, so the first item is this large button-down men's shirt that I thrifted a little less than a year ago, and it's just been sitting in my closet. I've worn it maybe twice, so I definitely needed to upcycle it. The plan going into this was to crop and hem this. So I just went in and I kind of folded the shirt up and tucked it under my bra to see where I wanted it to fall on my stomach, and then I marked about an inch below that so that I could cut down there and have still some space to hem it. This is really hard to explain, but yeah, so then I cut it and I was left with this. I tried it on again to make sure that I was like cool with like the length. It was kind of long in the back and kind of awkward, but it's fine. I took some safety pins and I folded up where I wanted the shirt to actually fall, so that I knew where I was gonna like sew the hem. And yeah, took really long for absolutely no reason. I didn't have any sewing pins, that's why, but if you have sewing pins, use them please. But I just kind of went all the way around the shirt, and yeah, it looked really weird and bulky, but it's okay because I was gonna cut the extra fabric off at the end, which I did. So yeah, then it was time to sew, and let me tell you, it was not easy. If you have a sewing machine, I 100% recommend that you use that. It's gonna turn out straighter, neater, everything will be better if you use a sewing machine, but I do not have one, so I had to sew this by hand, and it was quite a process, let me tell you. It was so hard to get all of the lines straight, and it just kept like moving in weird like squiggly lines. Like the hem was not straight, the thickness was weird in the front and the back, and it took way too long. But just kind of to explain what I actually did, I just did a back stitch, so that's what it looks like. I don't really know how to explain it. It's just you do like a stitch in the front and then you like go back to the other hole, and I just did that all the way around the bottom of the shirt, and that was it. I'm cheating a little bit because I did not thrift this, but I've had it for a couple of years now, and by a couple I mean like 10 years, so it was definitely time to upcycle it. The plan was to crop and like put scrunches on the side, which you'll see what I mean, but I started it off with checking where I wanted it to fall and marking right where I wanted the shirt to stop. Since I wasn't hemming this one, I didn't have to go an inch below. Then I took a washable marker and drew a line. I used this box to try and make it straight. It didn't work, but I made a line and I cut across. And then I took the scrap piece of fabric and cut like a thinner piece off to kind of create like a long string. Then I cut that in half, as you're gonna see, to create another string. It's really hard to explain for this project because it's really weird. But yeah, I cut it into two, so then I have two strap looking pieces. Then, continuing to use the scrap piece of fabric, I measured it along the length of the side of the shirt, and then I cut it there. And what you're gonna use this for is to like sew it. I'm trying to explain in this picture, but like basically where the gray line is where I'm sewing the it's so hard to explain. I'm basically creating tunnels in the fabric and then stringing the two strips of fabric through those tunnels. This is really difficult to explain, but yes. Next, I have these jeans that I thrifted about a year ago, and I've worn them almost every single day since. I literally love these pants. But they're slightly loose on me, and they needed a little bit of spice. So the plan was to make them a little tighter through a trick that I learned on Pinterest, and then to add rips to them. So I started off by marking how tight the jeans needed to be with a safety pin, and then I took some thread and a needle. I only had like embroidery thread and an embroidery needle, so it's looking a little thick. But yes, I did kind of like a triangle ladder stitch, I think is what it's called, I don't know. But yeah, basically what it's gonna do is when I pull the string, it's going to pull the extra fabric back so you can't see it, and it's just gonna look really seamless. I will say I'm editing this video a very long time after, and this method didn't really work for me. I don't know if I didn't do it right, but the string ended up showing, and then it just got looser over time. So I don't know if I would 100% recommend this, but I mean, I'm not mad that I tried it because it worked for the time being. Ripping the jeans was probably the easiest step from this whole video. All I did was take a washable marker and mark slits, just lines, where I wanted the rips in the jeans to be. Then I took my little baby scissors and cut them. Then I threw the pants into the washer, and they looked perfect. That's literally all I had to do.